My beloved child, pause for a moment and allow your heart to become still. Not the kind of stillness forced by silence, but the stillness that comes when your soul finally feels seen, understood, and held. I know you have been carrying many thoughts that you do not share with anyone, questions that echo in your mind late at night, worries that rise with you in the morning before the day even begins. You smile for others, you function, you survive, but inside there has been a quiet fatigue, a sense of waiting, as if something important is supposed to happen, yet you do not know when or how. I am speaking to you now because this moment matters more than you realize. You are not watching or listening by accident. This is not random. There is a reason your heart feels drawn, and it is because I want you to hear this before you take another step forward. You have been strong for a long time, stronger than people know, stronger than you give yourself credit for. You endured things that were never meant to break you, yet they tried. You faced disappointment, delay, misunderstanding, and silence. At times you wondered if your prayers were heard, or if they disappeared into the air. At times you questioned your own worth, your direction, your future. But look at you now. You are still here. You did not give up. You did not lose your humanity. You did not allow bitterness to fully consume you. That alone tells me how powerful your spirit truly is. I want you to understand something deeply. Peace does not come from everything being fixed. Peace comes from knowing you are not walking alone while things are being fixed. You have been waiting for circumstances to change so you could finally rest. I am telling you that rest comes first, and from that rest, change begins. The peace I give you is not fragile. It does not depend on money, approval, health reports, or the behavior of others. It is rooted in my presence with you, and my presence is constant, even when you feel it is quiet. There were moments when you thought you were falling behind in life. You looked at others and wondered why their journey seemed faster or easier. You questioned if you had made wrong choices or missed your chance. I want you to know that comparison has been one of the greatest sources of pain in your heart, and it was never meant to guide you. Your life is not late. Your story is not delayed. It is unfolding in a way that will make sense when you see it from a higher view. What you thought was lost time was actually preparation. What felt like waiting was shaping your character, your discernment, your depth. You have been learning patience not because I wanted to slow you down, but because patience will protect what I am bringing into your life. Some blessings require a version of you that can sustain them. Some doors open only when your heart is ready, not just when your desire is strong. You asked for growth, for purpose, for clarity, and those prayers are never answered lightly. They reshape a person from the inside out. I see the anxiety that has tried to make a home in your thoughts, the way your mind replays conversations, possibilities, fears that have not yet happened. You try to plan every outcome so you will not be hurt again. You try to control what people think so you will not be rejected. You try to predict the future so you will not be surprised by pain. But this constant guarding has exhausted you. It has stolen your joy in small moments. It has made rest feel unsafe. I am inviting you to release that burden. You were never designed to carry the weight of tomorrow. You were designed to live fully today while trusting me with what comes next. Worry feels productive, but it produces nothing but fatigue. It does not protect you. It only keeps your heart tense and your spirit distracted. I want to teach you how to lay things down without feeling irresponsible. Trust is not avoidance. Trust is an active choice to believe that you are supported even when you do not have answers. There are things happening around you that you cannot see yet, connections forming quietly, situations aligning slowly. What looks like stagnation is actually movement beneath the surface. Just as seeds grow unseen before they ever break the ground, your life is developing in places your eyes cannot reach. Do not measure progress only by visible results. Some of the most important work is invisible at first. I know there are relationships that have hurt you deeply, words spoken carelessly, promises broken, loyalty not returned. You gave more than you received, and it left you questioning your own value. I want you to hear this clearly. Their inability to honor you does not diminish your worth. Their failure to see you does not mean you are invisible. It simply means they were not equipped to walk with you where you are going. Forgiveness has been difficult because you feel it excuses the pain. But forgiveness is not approval of what happened. It is freedom from carrying it any longer. You do not have to reopen doors to release the weight. You can let go without going back. When you free your heart from resentment, you make space for peace to enter, and for new connections that reflect the growth within you. There have been moments when you felt alone, even in a crowd. Moments when you wished someone would truly understand what you were feeling without you having to explain it. I understand. I know the unspoken prayers, the quiet sighs, the tears you wiped away quickly. Nothing about you is hidden from me. Nothing about your pain is too small to matter. You may feel like your life is divided into before and after certain events, as if something shifted and you have never been the same. You are right. You are not the same. But that does not mean you are broken. It means you are wiser, deeper, more compassionate, more discerning. The tenderness you carry now is not weakness. It is strength, refined by experience. I want to speak hope into the areas where you feel uncertain. Your future is not empty. Your efforts are not wasted. Your kindness is not unnoticed. Even when results are delayed, seeds planted in faith always grow. The timing may not match your expectations, but it will align with what you truly need. You have a tendency to be hard on yourself. You replay your mistakes and wonder how things could have been different. You hold yourself to standards you would never demand of someone you love. I want you to begin speaking to yourself with the same compassion you give to others. Growth does not come from punishment. It comes from understanding, patience, and grace. There is a quiet strength within you that is being activated in this season. Not loud, not forceful, but steady and grounded. You are learning to respond instead of react, to listen instead of rush, to trust your inner clarity instead of external noise. This shift will change how you experience life. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are in a transition, and transitions often feel uncomfortable because the old no longer fits and the new has not fully arrived. But this space is sacred. It is where clarity is born. I am asking you to stay present. Do not rush this moment. Do not skip ahead mentally to the end. There is something your heart needs to receive right here. A reassurance, a grounding, a reminder that you are safe to keep going. Your story is still being written. The chapter you are in now is not the conclusion. It is a turning point. And even though you cannot yet see the full picture, you will look back one day and realize how much was aligning in your favor while you were simply trying to survive. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders relax. You do not need to have everything figured out tonight. You do not need to solve your entire future in one moment. All you need is to take the next honest step with a trusting heart. I am with you in this process. I am not rushing you. I am not disappointed in you. I am not distant. I am closer than you think, guiding quietly, supporting constantly, preparing carefully. And as you continue listening, know that what comes next will bring even more clarity, strength, and peace into your heart. Do not leave yet. What you are about to hear in the next part will speak directly to the questions you have been afraid to ask out loud. My beloved child, now that your heart has begun to soften, I want you to go deeper with me. There are layers within you that have been protected for a long time, not because you are closed, but because you learned that not everyone can be trusted with your vulnerability. You learned to guard yourself after disappointment. You learned to be careful after being misunderstood. You learned to stay quiet after realizing that your honesty was not always met with care. None of this makes you weak. It means you adapted in order to survive. But survival is not where your story ends. You have reached a season where merely enduring is no longer enough. Something inside you longs to truly live again, not just exist, not just cope, but feel alive, purposeful, and aligned. You may not have the language for it, but your spirit has been restless because it knows there is more. Not more pressure, not more struggle, but more depth, more meaning, more connection to who you truly are. I want to speak to the hidden fears that you rarely admit, even to yourself. The fear that you might invest your heart again and be disappointed. The fear that you might try once more and fail publicly. The fear that you might trust, hope, or believe and feel foolish for doing so. These fears have quietly shaped many of your decisions. They have made you cautious where you were once bold. They have made you delay where you once moved freely. They have made you question your instincts. But hear me clearly. Caution may protect you from pain, but it also limits your growth. There is a difference between wisdom and fear. Wisdom listens and discerns. Fear hesitates and avoids. You are being invited into a new way of moving forward, one where you are guided not by past wounds, but by present clarity. You have spent a long time trying to understand why certain things did not work out. You replay moments, conversations, decisions, wondering what you could have done differently. But not everything that ended did so because you failed. Some things ended because they had fulfilled their purpose. Some people were meant to walk with you for a season, not a lifetime. Some doors closed because they would have limited the version of you that is emerging now. I know it hurts to release what once felt important. Letting go often feels like losing a part of yourself. But what you are actually doing is making room. Room for relationships that see you. Room for opportunities that align with your values. Room for peace that does not require you to shrink or perform. You have also been carrying a quiet pressure to prove yourself, to show that you are capable, worthy, deserving. This pressure has driven you to overextend, to say yes when you needed rest, to carry responsibilities that were not yours. You thought if you just did more, gave more, tried harder, you would finally feel secure. But security does not come from proving your value. It comes from knowing your value is inherent. You do not need to earn rest. You do not need to justify your needs. You do not need permission to slow down. Your worth is not measured by productivity or approval. It is constant, even when you are tired, even when you are unsure, even when you are still figuring things out. There is a deep exhaustion that comes not from physical effort, but from emotional labor, from holding yourself together for too long, from being the strong one, from being the listener, from being the reliable one. I see how heavy that has been. I see how rarely you feel fully supported. And I want you to know that it is safe to lean back now. You do not have to carry everything alone. You are learning discernment, and this is important. You are becoming more aware of who has access to your energy, your time, your heart. This is not selfishness. This is maturity. You are realizing that not everyone deserves the same level of closeness, and that is okay. Boundaries are not walls. They are doors that you choose when and how to open. There may be moments when you feel guilt for choosing yourself, for saying no, for stepping back, for prioritizing your well-being. But choosing yourself is not abandoning others. It is honoring the life you have been given. When you are whole, your presence becomes healthier for everyone around you. I want to talk to you about trust. Not just trust in others, but trust in yourself. You have doubted your intuition because you once trusted it and still got hurt. But intuition is not a guarantee against pain. It is a guide toward truth. Pain does not mean you were wrong. Sometimes it means you were brave enough to be honest. You are wiser now, not hardened, but informed. You see patterns more clearly. You sense misalignment sooner. You feel when something is off. Learn to listen to that inner knowing without letting fear distort it. Your discernment is one of your greatest strengths in this season. There are dreams you placed on hold because life demanded practicality. Responsibilities took over. Expectations shaped your choices. Somewhere along the way, you told yourself that certain desires were unrealistic or selfish. But those longings did not disappear. They simply went quiet. And now they are stirring again. This stirring is not random. It is a reminder of who you are beyond roles and obligations. You are allowed to want more. You are allowed to imagine a life that feels aligned, meaningful, and fulfilling. Desire is not a flaw. It is a signal. Pay attention to what continues to call you even when you try to ignore it. You may not know how to move toward what you want yet, and that is okay. Clarity often comes after action, not before. You do not need the full plan. You need honesty with yourself and courage to take one small step. Momentum builds when intention meets movement. I also want you to release the idea that everything must make sense immediately. Some answers arrive only after time has passed. Some understanding comes only after healing. Do not rush your process by demanding explanations too soon. Allow yourself to grow into the answers. You have been learning to sit with uncertainty, and that has not been easy. But uncertainty is not emptiness. It is possibility. It is the space where new paths form. When you stop forcing certainty, you allow creativity and intuition to guide you. There is a quiet confidence beginning to rise within you. Not arrogance, not defensiveness, but a calm knowing that you can handle whatever comes. This confidence does not shout. It does not need validation. It is steady and grounded. Trust it. You are becoming someone who chooses consciously instead of reacting emotionally. Someone who listens before responding. Someone who values peace over chaos. This shift will change the quality of your life in ways you cannot yet measure. You may notice that some people feel uncomfortable with your growth. They may resist your boundaries or misunderstand your changes. This does not mean you are doing something wrong. Growth often disrupts old dynamics. Stay true to what feels aligned. even when it feels lonely at times. Loneliness does not always mean lack of connection. Sometimes it means you have outgrown your surroundings and are in between chapters. This space will not last forever. New connections will come, but they will meet you at the level you are becoming, not the level you are leaving behind. I want you to remain open, not naive, but open, not guarded, but grounded. Life still has beauty for you. People still have kindness to offer. Experiences still have joy to give. Do not let past pain convince you that your heart must remain closed to stay safe. You are allowed to feel deeply and still be strong. Sensitivity is not weakness. It is awareness. It is empathy. It is depth. When balanced with discernment, it becomes one of your greatest gifts. As you continue forward, remember that progress does not always feel like confidence. Sometimes it feels like uncertainty paired with commitment. It feels like choosing again, even when fear whispers. It feels like trusting yourself enough to try. There is more unfolding for you, more understanding, more alignment, more peace. Stay with me in this process. Do not rush ahead. What comes next will help you release what still holds you back and step more fully into the life